beautiful soul. Welcome to the Quantum Business Queen podcast. This podcast is a vortex for activating wealth, riches, and boss bitches. It is here that I teach multi-dimensional business. Our content will fall under 3 different categories: 5D quantum creation, 4D frequency alchemy, and the most potent 3D strategy. Every aspect of business that contributes to the creation of success is covered here. Plus, I will be personally interviewing the most amazing boss bitches that are at the forefront of the game, paving the way for money, magic, and magnetism in business. Let's get ready to activate all of that within you. Hello, beautiful soul. I'm so excited to have you here today. This episode, as per usual, is going to be fire. And, I really feel like this is a super important topic to speak about because I feel that it is something that kind of plagues especially the spiritual community. I was speaking to one of my high-level clients in my elite mastermind, and that mastermind is for entrepreneurs that are just about ready to crack into 6 figures or are ready to scale to multiple 6 figures. So we have some insanely potent entrepreneurs in the elite mastermind, some powerful trance channels from all over the world. And the conversations that we have in there is literally next level. Like, you want to be a fly in the wall when we have our elite mastermind calls, because it is insane the stuff that comes up. And these guys absolutely blow my mind, like beyond blow my mind. I'm in a constant state of chills on our group calls. Anyway, I digress. But this whole podcast was inspired by one of the conversations that we had in there. And it was really interesting. One of the humans in there, who's a powerful psychic and a powerful trance channel, she was saying that one of the things that was holding her client back from joining was that she was looking at all of these signs around her for a green light to jump into the container, and she just wasn't getting the signs. And for me, it was like, oh my gosh, it's so tragic that people think that the signs, the things that are going to happen are going to be outside of them. And because the signs don't go in their favor, they miss out on a super potent and powerful and potentially life-changing opportunity. So today's episode is going to be about, if you are looking at the external signs for the green light to do something, you are going to potentially miss out on an opportunity that will change your life. And I know this, of course, from personal experience, but I'm going to use so many other people as examples as well to prove to you that stop looking for external signs. Like, really, you got to stop doing that. And I know, especially in the spiritual world, that is something we always seek for validation. Stop using external signs for validation for whether or not you should do something, because it is massively limiting you. So I want to start with a story for literally when I first started my entrepreneurial journey. The first container I ever joined was really scary. I was shaking in my boots. It was $5,000 USD. And I just so happened to have that exact amount in America that I had inherited. And so I wanted to join this course. It was $5,000 USD. However, the coach was based in Australia. And for some reason, it was almost impossible for me to transfer this money over. Like, it wasn't happening. Like, I was trying all means to transfer it over, and then it's like, okay, well then let's just try to pay it like from the bank account straight from the US. And that wasn't happening. And it was ridiculous. I was like setting up new PayPal accounts to try to get this money transferred. I was using TransferWise and all of these other systems that normally worked seamlessly for me, but for some reason I could not get the money out of America. And yes, of course I had those thoughts like, am I meant to be doing this? Is this really something, that's meant for me? Why is this so hard to get the money over if this is something that I'm meant to be doing? But luckily, I had this internal drive and this internal knowing that this was the next step for me in business. And I followed through on it. We somehow worked out to get the money transferred over. And honestly, that course is the course that set me on my path. And if I was to use the fact that the money wasn't coming, like the money was not letting itself be transferred over to Australia for whatever reason, if I let that fact be a sign, a quote unquote sign from the universe that I shouldn't do that course, I would never be where I am today. That course is what set me on my path to launch the Quantum Coach certification, which has changed hundreds of people's lives from all over the world and literally has made me hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of the years. And so if I would have thought, well, the universe doesn't want me to do this, it's giving me a sign that I shouldn't, and I stopped in my tracks right there, I would never be the entrepreneur that I am today. So that's one of many of my personal stories. But if you look at people like Jessica Watson, who was a 16-year-old Australian girl who was the youngest to ever circumnavigate the globe unassisted and non-stop. She had so many signs in the beginning, and I say quote unquote signs that she shouldn't do it. Like one of her trial runs, she was hit by a massive boat, like a massive like cargo boat. And this boat like went off of it, veered off of its path. It wasn't meant to be where Jessica was. And it hit her, nearly destroyed her sailboat. And that was a trial run for her. She could have looked at that as a sign for, okay, well, maybe the universe is saying I shouldn't do this. Maybe this is going to be too hard. I'm only 16 years old. All of these things that could have limited her, but she didn't. She only had a couple week period before she needed to launch her expedition, because otherwise the weather would change for the absolute worst and she wouldn't, it wouldn't be a plausible journey for her. So she only had, I think, a couple of weeks to get her sailboat fixed. They didn't have a lot of money, everything was stacked against her, and she never used that as a sign for why she couldn't. Fast forward, Jessica Watson is 16 years old, a beautiful Australian girl, circumnavigated the whole globe non-stop, unassisted on her own. And she did that because she had a burning desire in her heart to do something big, knowing that there is going to be nothing that held her back. And this, my friends, is the difference between entrepreneurs, or humans, should I just say, that go out and do the big frickin' things no matter what, or the people that let their external circumstances dictate what they should do. So this is such an important conversation to have, because when one of the beautiful souls in my elite container was saying, she had this amazing person who is literally perfect to join her container, but because the money was hard to transfer or it didn't happen straight away, she used it as a sign that she shouldn't join, and she totally backed out. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that is devastatingly heartbreaking, because now that person's journey to ascension is on pause, and she's going to continue this external seeking journey and will never answer the call to her heart because she's too fixated on the external signs and giving them meanings. What you have to understand, is that you are manifesting these signs. You're manifesting them because you're fixated on needing to see them, and you are manifesting them. And so, if you manifest something that appears in your reality and then you plug a meaning on it, and then you have this burning desire to do something, but because you've put meaning on something externally that's outside of you, you decide not to do it, you are seriously selling yourself short. And also, I think a lot of times people use these quote unquote external signs to justify why they shouldn't do something scary, to justify why they shouldn't dance outside of their comfort zone. And so it's like, oh no, I got a sign from the universe, I shouldn't do this, so I'm going to take the easy route, not do it, stay in my safety, stay in my comfort zone, and never change anything about my reality.
We interrupt this awesome podcast episode to tell you about my life-changing Quantum Business Academy. If you are ready to take your business to the next levels of abundance and freedom, then you're definitely going to want to hear more. Please don't take my word for it though. Here is one of our alumni sharing their experience.
My time in the QBA was incredibly expansive, very rich and rewarding, and I can't thank Sarah Tynan enough for her wonderful guidance, support and belief, and sometimes when I didn't have that belief in myself, and the wonderful people in the group, was really life-changing and a very rewarding experience. So yeah, just expansive and big and bold and brave. It was wonderful.
If you want to know more, then please head over to my show notes, book a call with me, or you can message me in DMs. Now let's get back to the podcast.
And this to me is absolutely devastating. And so it was really cool to hear this person who's a super freaking powerful trance channel and really tapped into her intuition say that, it's really sad for her to see people following these external signs when really it's about people needing to follow the desires, the deep knowing, the burning sensation that's in their heart. Because when you don't do that, you actually start shutting down your own internal guidance and you start giving your power away to everything else that's outside of you. And then you give it a dense meaning and then it limits you. So it's so important, beautiful soul, to tune in, burning desire of your heart. You're going to have so many external factors that are going to potentially try to sway you, that are potentially going to try to put you back in your comfort zone, that are going to potentially try to keep you safe. But that is the ego's manifestation of it needing you to see what the potential flight risks are. But if you make it mean that you shouldn't do it, you're going to continuously loop in the same reality. Now, I have massively gone through my own personal transformations recently, and I have gone through so much what you would call contrast, like illness, all of these things happening to me at once. And I could have labeled that as I am not meant to move forward and transcend and step into this higher timeline. But I thought, no, I know what this is. This is me being recalibrated, because I know whenever I'm pulled back like a slingshot, I feel the resistance and everything pulling me back. It just means that I'm about to be released and catapulted forward. Those are the meanings that I give the quote unquote density. I don't make those things mean that I shouldn't do something. So this, my friends, is going to be a powerful perspective shift when it comes to you taking risks and stepping outside of your comfort zone. Always follow your internal guidance. Always do the thing that your future self is going to thank your present self for. One thing that's going to be so important for you to understand and consciously wake up to is that your meanings are like commands that you put out to the universe. So when you say, okay, this means I shouldn't, I couldn't, or who am I to, then this is a command to the universe. The universe will continuously show you why you shouldn't, why you couldn't, and why you're not meant to, or who are you to do the thing. But if you make it mean that you're being calibrated, you're being coded to walk the hero's journey and to rise, then the universe will show you reasons to rise as well. But stop, if you have a burning desire in you, stop making the signs mean you shouldn't do something. Know that when you step into newness, you will be tested sometimes, but it's all about giving it the higher realm meanings. The higher realm meanings will always lift you higher. The lower realm meanings will always keep you anchored. So never forget that you experience your realities through the meanings that you give it and the commands that you put out there. So what commands are you putting out there when you say to the universe, oh, I shouldn't, I mustn't, it's not me? Or what commands are going to change your life? Meaning you put a command to the universe that you are calibrating now to your highest potential, knowing that nothing will stop you and nothing will hold you back. Everything is an internal game. No matter what is happening externally, you get to continuously choose and put your commandments out to the universe that the universe will bring back to you in your experience. If you get caught in the evidence distortion, meaning you continuously seek the signs, you continuously look for external evidence for why you should do something, you will continuously perpetuate the same timelines. Because, my friend, if you've heard me before, you've heard me say 1,000 times that your reality you are experiencing right now in the present moment is just an accumulation of your blocks, of your distortions, of your ideas, of your thoughts, of your limitations, of everything, of who you are up until this point. And so in order for you to transcend who you are up until this point, it requires you to make new and different decisions. It requires you to transcend your limitations, externally, internally, whatever way they're coming at you. You have the power to choose. So if you continuously use evidence for why you shouldn't or couldn't or whatever, you will keep perpetuating the same reality. So, beautiful soul, stop using external signs to dictate what you know internally you should be doing, because you will be shown the contrast. You will be shown why you shouldn't do something. Your ego, your reticular activating system is potentially, most likely, switched on for you to notice the things that are dangerous so you stay safe. However, you can change that. You can switch the thing in your brain, your reticular activating system, to notice all the reasons why you should. If you're not deliberately programming your mind to see why you should, your ego is already programmed then to keep you safe. It's going to notice all the things that are dangerous, all the reasons why you shouldn't, all the reasons why you need to step back, stay safe, go in for shelter, and not put yourself out there. You need to become the deliberate creator. In order to become a deliberate creator, you have to become a deliberate thinker. If you let your mind take over for you every morning, it's going to be running the show. You have to take over your mind. You have to deliberately program your reticular activating system to notice all the reasons why you freaking should. And then it'll start fueling your ego and making you feel a little bit more comfortable to make those freaking scary, out of the box decisions that are going to rock your world, that are going to change your life. But it takes aligned bravery. Now, if you haven't listened to my Aligned Bravery podcast episode, please go back and listen to it, because aligned bravery is crucial in order to create wildly abundant success and happiness in every area of your life. So choose that internal burning fire over any external evidence or quote unquote signs. Choose aligned bravery, because alignment is your soul path, showing you the direction of your highest timeline. It is all a freaking choice. You need to choose to be the commander of your ego. You need to be giving it directives around what to think, because your belief systems are just your repetitive thoughts. So you need to be in control of those repetitive thoughts, because those repetitive thoughts are gonna control you if you don't control it. You have the power, beautiful soul, in every minute right now as you listen to this podcast. You are in the present moment of your power. I want you to tune into your body right this second. I want you to feel your emotional embodiment, because what you're experiencing right now emotionally is an accumulation of everything you've chosen. So this is your invitation to right now, in this moment, shift. Choose abundance. Choose your higher path. Choose aligned bravery. Choose all of your potential, because then that is the commandments you will put out into the universe and experience into your physical reality. So that is it from me today, beautiful soul. I hope this landed where it needed to. Stop looking for external signs to take the leap. You got to jump off the cliff and sometimes build your wings on the way down. But I promise you, it will always be worth it. I am here if you need anything. And as always, choose abundance, choose your highest path, and choose your potential. Thank you so much for listening today, beautiful soul, and I will see you next time.
Thank you so much for listening today, beautiful soul. I hope you got so much gold and were activated in such a way that you could step into your highest timeline of abundance and freedom, because it is more than possible for you. If that desire has been planted in your soul, it is so deliberate. If you wouldn't mind, please rate, review, subscribe to this podcast so that we can get this message into the hearts and ears of more amazing light beings across the world. I would love to continue this conversation with you, so feel free to get in touch on Instagram at sarah.tynan.quantumcoach. If you're a Facebook person, you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Sarah Tynan International. And please don't ever forget, if your desire is there, it's because your destiny is there too. You just have to remember who you are. Bye for now, beautiful.